Red flag.
All right, we're going to try to record our GT3 slash Mosler race. We have Don Parsons on white, Scott Van Buren on green, Jim Bell on orange, Dwight Cry on blue, Victor Abreu on yellow, Davis Van Buren on purple, and Tim Dowling on black. So we're going to go to racing. I can feel the love.
Strong is strong. Woo, white. Look at that, the dose.
One left hand, one right hand.
Beauty.
Trying to teach you guys, use both hands. Under the bridge. Good job. Kinda. On top. Same guy, Jim Bell. Gotta be Jim Bell.
You gotta be going double. On fire, Ricky.
When he wrecks, he usually follow up with a second one, trying to make up for the last. Under the bridge. Whoa, rider, rider, rider. It's one of them red guides. Orange. Thank you. Victor Abreu is currently your leader with 24 laps. Tim Dowling, Davis Van Buren, Jim Bell, Dwight Cry all with 23, Scott Van Buren 22, Don Parsons coming off of white with 21. Fast laps goes to Victor Abreu with a 4.811, Jim Bell a 4.813, Tim Dowling 4.923, Dwight Cry 5.001, Scott Van Buren 5.146, Davis Van Buren 5.161, and Don Parsons 5.278 coming off of white. Good heat there. What's the track for? Where's track call?
There was a couple underneath here.
Yeah, but y'all threw them all over here. So why'd you call track?
I heard track, I just pushed the button.
They just shoved them under the bridge at me.
I just heard it. We just shoved him around. This nonsense out of here.
Long arm Madison.
I saw orange on his deal. I'm sorry. Sorry, big guy. That's on me. We're even for our last race now.
Easy there, Don. Easy on that. Hey, did you bring enough for everybody? No track.
Good, Victor. Get busy.
Welcome, Bill. No, you're on. You're on. You're on. Clock's off. You came out and went back in. You're right. I can handle both these.
I know. Bunch of these little sissies over here. You go to see Madison County. Marshall. Wow, that was close.
Heat over. All right, Victor Abreu, 49 laps. Whew, he's walking away with, he's walking the dog. Scott Van Buren, Dwight Cry, Jim Bell, Tim Dowling, all with 45 laps. Davis Van Buren, 44, Don Parsons, 41, so Victor Abreu's leading with 49. Laps that segment, Victor Abreu with 25. Oh, wow, picked up 2 on the next person. Scott Van Buren, 23, Dwight Cry, Jim Bell, Tim Dowling, all with 22, Davis 21, and Don 20. Fast lap goes to Victor Abreu with a 4.837, Jim Bell a 4.887, Scott Van Buren a 4.999, Tim Dowling a 5.027, Dwight Cry a 5.063, Davis Van Buren a 5.127, and Don Parsons a 5.411. You can do it, Villachow. 2 hands. I know, I was impressed. I just wanted to commend you on it. Help? It'll happen. You put it on the table, they'll get it. Oh, there he is. Help, red.
Well, he does not let off that trigger name for a second.
Right there, green.
Sounds like a 2-stroke.
Well, you can. Well, slow it down. Nothing wrong with the braid. Red. Wait till you're on the bridge before you get on it. Track.
I need these 10 right now.
I
We just stopped putting all this good food out
I
the
need to
yard.
lose about 8. Victor Abreu walking away with 73 laps, 5 over the field. Dwight Cry, Tim Dowling, Scott Van Buren are racing for second place with 68. Jim Bell and Davis Van Buren at 66, and Don Parsons 63. Laps that segment. Victor Abreu on the white lane scored 24 laps, 1 over the field. Dwight Cry, Scott Van Buren, Tim Dowling all with 23. Yep. And then we have Davis and Don with 22 and Jim with 21. Fast lap goes to Tim Dowling with a 4.891, Victor Abreu a 4.926, Dwight Cry a 4.978, Jim Bell a 5.030, Scott Van Buren a 5.090, Davis a 5.105, and Don a 5.188. Good marshal in there, Victor. Yeah, I did. Drop right in. In. Nope. Knocked him in.
You keep on going track. I thought it was like, you know.
They don't think I'm here. I'm invisible.
Yeah, I've seen Jim.
My hand was over the table, over the car. Green. I got him.
Under the bridge. I couldn't hit the button. It was under.
Too low on time. Victor Abreu with 96 laps. Second place. Tim Dowling, Dwight Cry fighting out at 92 laps. Fourth place, Scott Van Buren with 90, Jim Bell 89, Davis Van Buren 87, Don Parsons 85. Laps that segment. Tim Dowling and Dwight Cry each picked up one on Abreu with 24 laps each. Abreu was 23 on the red lane, along with Jim Bell with 23. 22 laps for Scott Van Buren, 22 laps for Don Parsons, 21 laps for Davis. Fast lap goes to Tim Dowling with a 4.877. Victor Abreu with a 4.9. Oh, we got, excuse me, Jim Bell had fast lap 4.868. Tim Dowling 4.877 on red. Victor Abreu at 4.961 on, I'm sorry, Victor was on red, Tim was on white. 4.973 for Dwight Cry. 5.067 for Scott Van Buren. 5.127 for Davis, and 5.260 for Don. You got a girlfriend on there? All the way through. Yeah, Nelson knocking them out.
What was that about Marshall, bro?
Oh yeah, you feel the love. Marshall's picking on Marshalls. Along with the competition of the race, we have the competition of the Marshalls.
That was quick, dude. That was quick. That was quick. Didn't show us how to market today.
I guess I don't have brain fog today as normal. Oh, track. You're supposed to catch that, Victor. Yeah. What screen? Yeah. No, I got the wrong screen up for it. Last heat was that one. He gets the award for the best crash of the day.
For sure. Bounce off Don over here.
Come on, go in. I'm glad he put it on. He didn't shove it through this time.
Remember that time I came up down the front straight and I can.
That may be a new way of marshalling, just knock them through.
Whoa! Saved you. Good. Boy, saved both of those.
You see full throttle when I put it down?
I know, that's what I'm telling you. He's always full throttle, dude.
About pulled my hand off my arm.
He's full down.
Surprised you didn't strip a gear.
It's a brand new gear and it's no equipment.
He's got to remember I'm an old guy and not pull me off my feet.
Whoa! Whoa, so far. That was weird. It went backwards. It's kind of cool, actually.
Not very far.
Good job, David.
Is that the heat?
Did you see that thing?
Heat over.
Heat over.
Looked around, hit a different lane in that direction, and came out again. It's ready to go again. That was pretty fancy, man. I think some cool stuff, but that's up there.
Victor Abreu, 120 laps. Dwight Cry, 116. Tim Dowling, 115. Scott Van Buren, 114. Jim Bell, 111. Davis Van Buren, 109. Don Parsons, 105. Laps that segment. Victor Abreu, Dwight Cry, and Scott Van Buren all with 24. Tim Dowling, 23 on the red lane. Remarkable run there, Tim. Jim Bell, Davis Van Buren 20 each, and 22 each, and Don Parsons 20. Fast lap goes to Victor Abreu. Jim Bell with fast lap 4871. Victor Abreu 4876. Dwight Cry 4921. Tim Dowling 4963 on red lane. Good lap there, Tim. Davis Van Buren 5200. Don Parsons 5346. And I don't know if I got Scott or not, but Scott had a 5082. Knocked the sticker off, I didn't know where to put it. Yeah, he's here till 10 o'clock. He did. I don't know what time he left. Just because one person wrecks doesn't mean somebody else needs to. That sounded wise, didn't it? Like a wise guy.
Heat over.
Victor Abreu, 144. Dwight Cry, 140. Tim Dowling, Scott Van Buren, 136 each. Jim Bell, 135. Davis, 130 coming off a red. Don Parsons, 124. Laps that segment. Victor Abreu, Dwight Cry, and Jim Bell all with 24. Scott Van Buren, 22. Tim Dowling and Davis Van Buren, 21. Don Parsons, 19. Fast lap. Tim Dowling with a 4728. Victor Abreu, a 4865. Jim Bell, a 4894. Scott Van Buren, a 4917. Dwight Cry, a 5006. Davis Van Buren a 5.402, and Don Parsons a 5.416.
Go. Well, that's it. That's happy. Well, it's stronger than the slotted. I usually have time to prepare the tires, so it's a little loose. Yellow flag. Guys don't stay in the middle. No.
Yep, I've been fighting it too.
That is a fast car.
Ready. Jim likes it. Go.
Is that pro gearing you gave him?
Yeah, but he's way behind. His motor mount lock broke.
Yeah, I thought it might have. Black, black, black. Good job. I know, he got that trigger squeeze, buddy. Black again. Up top, up top. Never mind. Victor got it. Yellow. Purple.
Slow down there, Iron Grip.
Death grip.
Death Grip.
That might be his new nickname. Jim, Death Grip. Heat over. Victor Abreu, 168. Tim Dowling, 161. Dwight Cry, 162. Excuse me. So we got Victor Abreu in first, 168. Dwight Cry coming off a red in second place at 162. Tim Dowling, 161. Scott Van Buren, 159. Jim Bell, 158. Davis, 152. And Don Parsons, 144. Laps that segment. Victor Abreu. Well, Tim Dowling with 25. Victor Abreu, 24. Scott Van Buren and Jim Bell with 23 each. Dwight Cry and Davis Van Buren with 22. And Don Parsons with 20. Fast lap goes to 4.826 Jim Bell. 4.884 Victor Abreu. Oh, 4.697 Tim Dowling. Excuse me. That was a whopper of a lap. 4.697. Okay. So then that leaves us at 5.093 for Davis Van Buren, 5.108 for Scott, and 5.345 for Don.
Go. I didn't get to treat them before I gave them. It's a little loose. Yellow flag. Go. Yellow flag. Go. Halfway grid. 1 minute left.
Are we allowed to run a thing,
Yeah,
race today,
yeah.
or is it all
You can
fun?
you can run here, or you can watch down there, whatever you want to do.
Would you like to walk or run when you're
race if you can coach him a little bit.
Yellow flag.
Right there, purple.
Yellow flag.
We'll take the slot. You're all right.
Ready.
Must have come out and went back in. Must have come out and back in.
Go. Seconds left. 5 seconds left.
It's called the Villatown effect.
Checkered flag.
Race over. Right. Victor Abreu is your winner with 192 laps. Dwight Cry second place with 186. Tim Dowling third at 184. Jim Bell 182. Scott Van Buren 182 also. Davis Van Buren 173 and Don Parsons 167. Laps that segment. Victor Abreu, Dwight Cry, and Jim Bell all with 24. Tim Dowling, Scott Van Buren, and Don Parsons all with 23, and Davis with 21. Fast lap goes to Tim Dowling with a 4.745, Jim Bell with a 4.792, Victor Abreu a 4.874, Dwight Cry a 4.987, Davis Van Buren a 5.097, and Don Parsons a 5.191.